Good morning, class. This is your day 5 of week 7 ELA, and I am going to do a read aloud with you or for you of the text for today, and then I will answer a question with you explaining how we go about that or reviewing, and then that's going to be it for day 5. Um, this article, the title of this article is Robbie Speaks for Parks. Remember that it's always a good idea to keep the title in mind because that gives us a good clue as to what this might be all about, okay? So it says Robbie, might be about Robbie, and then it says that Robbie speaks for parks. All right, so here we go. Honolulu, Hawaii achieved 3,000, December 4, 2019. From Admiralty Island in Alaska to Yucca House in Colorado, the U.S. has 129 national monuments, which are protected areas, usually designated by the president. There are all kinds of reasons these areas should be protected. Some are important parts of history or culture. Others stand out for their natural beauty. National monuments are also home to many kinds of animal species and plant life. In 2017, then fourth grader Robbie Bond heard news about the national monuments. The US government wanted to cut the number of these protected places. So the 9-year-old took action. He started a group. It's called Kids Speak for Parks. It teaches kids that national lands are important. It also fights to keep the monuments. Within 6 months, Robbie traveled to more than a dozen national parks and monuments with his parents. The visits were made possible with the Every Kid in a Park pass. It granted all U.S. fourth graders free entry to every national park and monument. Robbie explored the parks. He made friends with other visitors, and he spoke to leaders about protecting public lands. But why does Robbie work so hard to but why does Robbie work so hard to protect nature? He says his parents instilled in him a great respect for the planet. With their help, Robbie was already taking part in beach cleanups by the time he was 3 years old. He learned how important it is to preserve the natural world. Since starting Kids Speak for Parks, Robbie's been busy. He's collected thousands of signatures in support of parks. He has spoken to schools and rallies, and he's partnered with Google Expeditions to help create virtual field trips to national monuments. In 2018, he was the winner in the Action for Nature International Eco Hero Youth Awards. The awards recognize young people for their environmental work. Robbie won second place. As if that weren't enough, Robbie is now a real superhero. He has his own comic book. Yep, that's right. The folks at Marvel noticed Robbie swooping in to help save national treasures. They've chosen him for their new TV show, Marvel's Hero Project. Each episode is about a different kid hero. And then, how cool is this? Each kid is drawn into a comic book character. Do you have something you want to speak up about? Here's what Robbie wants you to know. You are never too young to speak up for what you believe in. All right, and so here's your dictionary as always. And still, I thought that was a beautiful word that they included in the text. Instill, it is a verb, so to do something, and it is to gradually or to little by little cause someone to have an attitude or feeling. Nice. Designate, to officially choose. Okay, so to designate is just a fancy word for to choose. Okay. So, and I was going to do the who and what questions, but actually, question one of all the multiple choice questions that you need to answer for day five, it is actually about the main idea. It says main idea of the article, and then I see a big question mark here. And then this is kind of like a tree map where we would put a tree map, the main idea on top, and then we have the three branches, which are the details. And so let's read question one. It says, based on the article, which best replaces the question mark in the diagram above? In other words, which of these four choices is the main idea of the article? Okay, so this is where you can do these things. You can put on the margins, you can put the questions who and what. Who and what. All right. So even without looking at the details yet, let me see if I can remember from the reading, okay? So who was that all about? I think that we can all agree that it was about this boy named Robbie, right? Now, what about Robbie? Robbie, it says that he created a group, I believe, and this is what you do if you don't remember. If you are not 100% sure, then you come back in skim through the text, and it's right here. In 2017, then fourth grader Robbie Bond heard news about the national monuments, and then it says how the government wanted to cut the number of those places, and then so the 9-year-old took action, and then here he started a group which is called Kids Speak for Parks. So he started a group, and then later on I can see that within 6 months Robbie traveled to more than a dozen national parks. So he was traveling, visiting those monuments and parks. I think that I remember somewhere where it says that he collected signatures right here. He's collected thousands of signatures in support of parks. Okay, so who? Robbie. What about Robbie? Created a group and worked to protect parks, which the government, some of them, the government wanted to close. Okay, so I think that the main idea is going to be about Robbie, who created a group and worked hard to protect monuments and parks. That's what it sounds to me. Now let me take a look at the details and see if these details support what I think the main idea is, and then I'll take a look at the choices and see which one matches my main idea. Okay, so national monuments are home to many animal species and plant life. So this is just defining what national monuments are. And then Robbie spoke to leaders about protecting national lands. Yes, that goes with him working to protect parks. The government wanted to cut the number of national parks. Yes, that's a detail as to why he was working so hard to protect park. So I think that I am right with my main idea here. Now let me go ahead and see which choice has that main idea. Okay, so what is the main idea? A, working with Google Expeditions, Robbie created virtual field trips to national monuments. That's just a small detail that was mentioned. That's part of the work that he's doing, but that's just a small detail. B, Robbie started a group to teach kids about national lands and fight to keep national monuments. Maybe. I'm going to cross out A. I don't think it's A. Maybe it is B. And then C, to honor kids who are real life superheroes. Marvel will show them in a new TV show. That's just a small detail as to how Marvel is, I guess, rewarding the hard work of Robbie. That's not what the whole article was about. Or D, national monuments in the US can be chosen for their historical or cultural importance. Was the reading all about that? I don't think so. That was just a small detail. So I think that the right choice is B. And as always, we go back and underline, but actually I went ahead and did already when I was trying to get the main idea without even looking at the choices. Okay, and that's it. That's how we go about answering these questions, doing the hard work. The rest of day 5 is just that, answering your multiple choice questions, reading. You know that you're reading Wonder, and then you already know that you're not doing these tasks because you are making sure to go to Google Classroom and answer that reflection question that I've been posting for Wednesday and for Friday. So you don't have to do this or these activities. Don't forget about your PE. It's always important to keep active. And that's it for day 5.